My focus with Urban Couture from the very beginning, even at the days that we were still trying to figure ourselves out and we were evolving, my focus has always been fashion as art, art as fashion.
It's just like, I was just like messing with it because I want to make one that has, it's just simple, it's going to be one color, and it's going to have two, not necessarily pleats,
Right.
but two,
well, they are pleats.
And I wanted to do it like a one-shouldered twist type thing. I'm not really sure how I'm going to make that work, but that...
How did it start? You know what, it kind of started by accident. 8 years ago, I was hired at Grady to be an art teacher. Well, that first semester of my first year at Grady, I was asked almost on a whim by an administrator if I might be interested in teaching fashion design, and I said, well, yeah, I mean, sure. My second year at Grady High School, I launched 2 sewing classes / fashion design, and it developed rather quickly after that. I am teaching my students that sewing is a skill, it's a craft, you need to be good at it, but you also have to have some very strong aesthetics and design skills to be an artist, to be a fashion designer. So my focus has always been to approach fashion design as an art form.
My mother is a costume designer, and I've always just been around her, going places with her, and I always loved, I always liked clothes, I always wanted to get into it. And then when I came to a high school that had fashion as a class, I wanted to take it, and when I took it, I fell in love with it.
I've always been interested in fashion since I was a little kid, but I got into this class last year. I went to the fashion show in 9th grade, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So last year I was in the class, and I really pushed myself to do well in the class so I can advance like 2 courses to become a senior designer.
I guess my whole collection, I'm not really a type of person to sit down and plan out every aspect of my collection and then work from there. I just thought that sewing would be a good skill to have. I don't know if I necessarily wanted to be a senior designer at the moment, but as I progressed, I started to really realize that this is something I enjoy doing and I'm good at it too.
When we started, I featured everyone. So if you took my class, you got in the show. But here's what began to happen, and it was a good problem to have. The seniors who really wanted to study fashion were taking over, and the quality of the work was kind of doing this, where I had strong and growing senior design work, and then not so strong beginner work, and I started to realize, wow, something needs to happen. And over a matter of about 3 years, I have completely eliminated all of the beginner work in the show and completely focused on the senior designers. One of my favorite moments year after year is watching the student designer come out for their bow. It's rewarding to see their expression of joy and happiness and elation as they're receiving thunderous applause from anywhere between 600 and 900 people.
That I'm stressing out about prom is
Can I go to your history and look at it?
Yeah.
Working with the community has been instrumental to Urban Couture. And the AJC did a huge spread in the living section about us. And that opened up a few eyes, and the community began to take notice and approach me to collaborate on projects.
Feed the model, save the world!
Urban Couture launched its first ever fundraising campaign, Feed the Models, Save the World. Proceeds from t-shirt sales will go to the Eating Disorders Information Network, also known as EATIN.
Designer Clint Ziegler collaborated with Grady to achieve the look he wanted to carry out his theme, Marching Band Glam. Models from the Atlanta Ballet showed off the unique designs of Mr. Ziegler. The audience was further dazzled and amazed by the dynamic sounds of the Grady Marching Band and entertained by Midtown's very own drum major, Baton Bob.
I like the connections we get to make with each other and with our teacher and with people around the city, and we get a lot of experiences high school kids never get to experience, or anyone in their lifetime.
I have to give credit to the nonprofit for the kid and all of us. We literally brainstormed the entire event over coffee and realized it as a cocktail fashion event where we would repurpose gently used bridesmaid dresses, old prom dresses.
This one's mine right here. It was like a long Spanish dress, and I turned it into like a cupcake dress, like a Betsy Johnson style dress.
It's just a great cause. I'm actually wearing one of the dresses that the students have designed and are going to donate to underprivileged teenage girls.
I've heard so much about these designers at Grady, and I wanted to meet them and see them. And then to think that they're modeling their own clothes that they designed, I thought was amazing.
So I think we need to get some really good energy going because we want to keep doing this. Project Prom.
Went very well. The garments were well presented, well modeled. For the kid and all of us took all the dresses to the different agencies and distributed them to underprivileged teenage girls. The most important thing that a student can leave or walk away with from my program is a really good feeling about themselves. Knowing how to sew, that's a great skill. Being able to design and then create your designs, that's definitely a career path. But there are many that don't want to pursue it. They just simply enjoy construction. So if they can leave here, especially as a graduate, with a well-rounded, positive, constructive high school experience, and I had maybe a small role in that, that definitely makes me very happy.